Okay. So where were you, and what did that say about you? And where are you going now? And what you want your look to say, what you want your look to say about you now? And what are the differences? Are there differences? Or are you quite happy to go back to what you were pre-COVID? Is that going to be a seamless, simple thing? Or are there quite a few changes? And now you're a little bit confused.
Jim, do you have anything you want to share different from what you spoke about before?
Yeah, I think I want to make sure that I'm still. So when you said, how do I want to look like? I want to look like a successful business professional. I make lots of presentations in front of business owners, and those are typically my clients. And so there has to be an impression of success, the dress for the job you want or the job you're representing. And so I still want to be appropriate. I want to have a little bit of my unique style. Being a guy, there's not much variation other than slacks, blazer, and a nice shirt. But I also don't want to walk in the room, as I said, looking too stuffy, even though that's what I like. But, I've always dressed to how I'm supposed to make the right impression. So when I travel in Latin America, I don't dress like an American. And from the time I get off the plane, for security reasons, I don't speak any English. I'm a Spaniard. And so I want to look like that. So I bought clothes that my clients would wear. And so I want to continue to do that, but I still want to make it me, if that makes sense.
Yeah, makes absolute sense.
So, when I started going to Argentina, in the beginning, all the Americans would walk off with a white pair of Nikes, khakis, and a polo shirt. I'd be wearing, black dress shoes, dress slacks, and a dress shirt as I came off the plane, and I would be carrying one of my blazers. Today, that's changed a little bit in that there's no longer dress slacks. It's a nice pair of jeans. So yes. I used to have one pair of jeans. Now I have 5.
Yeah. Yeah. So what I'm hearing, Jim, is that you want to look relevant as well. You want to be relevant to the people that you're communicating with. And one of the things I want to encourage you about is that who you are makes you good at what you do. So to dress in a way that doesn't speak of who you are is not going to do you a service or your clients a service. Okay, so I think it's very important to acknowledge who you are. You're never going to be the khakis and the you're never going to be that. You're always going to be the guy in a really beautiful pair of dark indigo jeans with a really beautiful shirt and, maybe a sports blazer as opposed to a formal blazer. Like that's what I would see you wearing. But the thing is, Jim, that it's in the details. So when I work with men, it's often, because men don't have as many opportunities to express themselves through clothing, it's rather buying quality stuff rather than quantity. It's having those finer little details. It's finding the shirts that have got, inside the placket, they've got a slightly different color, or the way the buttons are sewn on. It's that kind of attention to detail that somebody who is looking for that is going to see that in you. And so I would love to encourage you to look at those kind of things, look at the finer details. And although the overall look is a little bit more casual than you would normally wear, the details are going to show that you care and that you're Spanish. It's going to give that feel, but it's the quality. But don't try and be what you're not, because that's not going to be you either. And I truly believe that when we dress in a way that reflects who we are, we can be that with confidence. But it does mean that we alter it slightly. So, when I'm speaking at a corporation, I'm a little bit more dressed up than when I'm dealing with a client one-on-one, taking her or him shopping, because I can be more expressive in that way. But with a corporation client, I'm going to be a bit more corporate. You know what I'm saying? Yep. It's still me, and I'll still be wearing color and print, but it'll be a bit more toned down for the corporation, depending on what they do. So I think it's about fine tuning it. And when you're going, when you're dressed as the Spaniard and you're not speaking English, then you can go as all out as you want to, because that's going to speak that. That's the character that you're building. When you're dealing with Americans and they're all in their Nikes, you still want to be a little bit, you still want to be you, because you aren't just a straight up American guy.
Yeah.
And that can be the conversation piece too, right? And even if men act like they don't talk about it or notice they do. Believe
No.
me,
Trust
they
me.
do.
My husband does, that's for sure.
Oh, I'm telling you, it's hilarious. Like when I get mad, they actually told me what I was like. Yeah, I knew you cared.
The sexist comment I get is, "Wow, your wife buys you really nice clothes."
Oh my gosh.
Yeah,
Oh.
exactly. But you see, that's the comfortable place. So,
Right.
So yeah, exactly. Okay.
Okay.
So I'd like
Thank
to
you.
go.
That's excellent.
Debbie,
I was
I'd
gonna
love
say
to hear.
I was gonna say that sounds like a compliment.
Yeah, it was.
Mindy,
Sure.
would you like to share?
Sure. So while I was eating, I took down a few notes.
Yeah.
So like I said before, I had a very casual job. I work in music publishing for quite a long time. And so at my first job, I was really just used to wearing jeans and t-shirts and that kind of stuff. I got a new job about 2 years ago, and I have a lot more people in my office and younger people who I feel maybe a little bit more like I need to, not to please, but to like look a little bit more like the rest of the staff, a little more polished. But in general, my style has always sort of been a little bohemian, casual, flowy dresses, cute like earrings, gilded wood, that kind of stuff.
Purple hair.
Well, this is a new new thing since COVID, and I'm actually trying to let the purple come out of my hair. But yes,
Okay.
thank you for noting that. So I would say that my look in general used to be very relaxed, approachable, comfortable for sure, especially since I do a lot of walking in the city to and from my commute home and to work. And I think moving forward, I want to continue to look a little more polished, more put together, and invest in more statement pieces to mix and match, and just have an investment in quality pieces that will stay around for a lot longer than what I'm used to. I'm used to sort of just buying stuff, and then like after one season, it's got a hole in it, and I'm like trying to blend it in somehow, or I just toss it or donate it.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Thanks for that, Mindy. And I think what you said is so important for right now, because one of the trends I see going forward, by the way, I just uploaded on my YouTube channel my 5 top post-COVID trends. And one of them being that I believe that people are going to become more conscious of quality over quantity. And I think that often boho women struggle with this because they want the boho style, but often the boho style feels like it just comes in stuff that isn't good quality. But that isn't necessarily true. So you could have really good quality pieces and still have your boho look that goes with that. And if that is you and you want to continue to, you can keep that. You can take that boho style and push it up a little notch. You know, you're able to do there. The interesting thing is we don't have to be one style. We don't have to be one thing. So I have an online course on how to discover your personal style. And one of the women that did the course said, oh, well, now I still don't know what my style is. I'm like, well, we're not all categories. Like we don't fit in. This is the whole point, is that we're a little bit of everything.
Right.
Or a little bit of 3 things. And we want to find what really fits with us. And that's the thing, is it's unique. It's unique to you. And so I'd love to encourage you to, you know, for instance, you could have a good pair of basic slacks or a good pair of basic jeans that fit you really well that you invest in. And then your tops can have a little bit of kind of boho detail. So it could be the print, it could be the flouncy sleeve, it could be something. And you can always have that little bit of that something different and fun to your look and still be sophisticated. And still step it up a notch if you want to. And I think also, as we get older, we kind of have a great appreciation for quality, because when we find that good pair of jeans that actually fits, we're hoping it's going to be good quality, so it's going to last a long time. So we don't have to go shopping for it again. You know, so I would just encourage you to, you know, and I mean, we can talk further if you want to determine what is your capsule wardrobe. I don't believe that everybody's capsule wardrobe is the same. I don't believe, like, I do not own a white shirt. A white button down does not exist in my closet.
Me neither.
Not a basic for me. My black dress is a leather dress.
Ooh.
Well, it's classic. It's still classic. It's got, like,
yeah,
it's
very
classic,
timeless.
but it's leather. It's like, it's not regular. So we don't all have to look the same, or we don't have to dress the same. So I would encourage you to figure out, and like I said, if you want to chat further, we can. What are your core basics, and which are the things that are worth spending on, and which can you save on? Because I think going forward, we also probably have a little less cash, and we want to do this on a budget. No matter how big or small the budget is. And then, it's really around, well, can I invest in a few good pieces that are going to stand the test of time and I can enjoy for a long time? So is that helpful?
Yes, sorry, after I unmuted myself. It is. I just have one thing to add in terms of jeans. Since I walk around a lot, and I mentioned that I have very thick thighs because I do a lot of walking, one of my big issues is finding jeans that don't split in the middle and between my thighs. Mm-hmm. So I'd love to find a good brand that I can invest in that would be a little better for that.
Yeah.
So I don't constantly rip them.
Yeah. And maybe it's also about the shape of jeans that you're trying. So maybe like a wide leg versus a skinny, or a more of a slim, like a more relaxed style that's going to give you still that fit in your waist, but a little bit more room. Could be a really great idea. And it will look like a skinny on you because of your shape. So sometimes we're very restricted. I notice with my clients, they think, well, this is the kind of jeans that they must support, so they only ever go for those. But some styles are going to look different on you. Like a bootleg could look perfectly slim on you, depending on what shape it is. Do you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. It could look like a slim leg versus actually on somebody else it's a bootleg. And so we can let go of, hopefully, my hope is that we can let go of the prototypes and really just find what works for us and celebrate our bodies as they are, as opposed to trying to squeeze into what the stores deem. I think that's also going to start changing.
I hope so.
Yeah, it's about time, right? Yeah, cool.
Yes.
So Debbie, I'd love to hear from you. I think you went and refilled your glass.
Yeah. Well, no, I actually had to take a call, so I apologize. And then my son came home. I'm back.
No problem. Yeah. So I'd love to hear from you because you're going through such a lot of changes. So I'd love to hear from you around where you were and where you would like to see yourself going.
You mean as in personal style or? Mm-hmm. Okay. So I find myself that I'm kind of like in this rut. I say I'm going to change. I'm like black and white or black pants, not even black and white because I don't really have a white buttons out on either. But I find that I just wear the same things over and over again, and I want to change my not image, but I just kind of want to zhuzh it up or, do something different. Same with my hair and your makeup, and you see people who always they look different every time you see them, they look different. So I think that for me, I want to find something that I don't follow trends. I do what I'm comfortable in and what I feel looks best on me. I don't go just because that's what's fashionable or that's what's trendy.
Great.
But I have to find something. I want to just kind of create a new style for myself, I guess. I want to reinvent myself, but not really reinvent me, but just what I project.
Yeah. So it sounds like to me, Debbie, that actually you aren't sure about what you want going forward.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah. Okay.
I want to still say I'm casual. I'm not a fancy person. I'm very kind of basic, but I try to switch it up into, whether it's with accessories, I'll, put on something, a statement necklace or earrings. But I want to kind of find a different, I want to find myself, I guess, just reinvent myself.
Yeah. And I just want to encourage you, Debbie, because, as people, whenever we go through changes, it's very normal to have this moment of like going to your closet and going, it feels like nothing's right anymore, and there may be elements of things that you like, but you're not sure of. And so I think now is a great time to be reinventing yourself,
right?
Because you are going through so many changes. And I think that once you find what really works for you, it's going to become seamless. And that's the beautiful thing. So the thing is that when you really understand what your personal style is, it saves you time, it saves you money, It means shopping is so much easier. Even online shopping is so much easier. It makes it easy to get dressed in the morning because the only things you have in your closet are the things that work for you and that you love. And so, you know, often people are very resistant to saying, well, I don't want to spend the time to understand how to develop my personal style. But when you invest a little bit of time and sometimes work with somebody who can help you to understand what that looks like, it saves you tons of time and money in the long run. Because, you know, when you just buying bits and pieces and like, oh, I think that will work, or maybe that won't. And then, you know, and now with online shopping, there's returns, there's a whole bunch of other stuff that we have to deal with going forward. And so I think it's a great time. Now is a great time to really say, well, what is it that I want to say about myself, and what clothes are going to help me to do that? Like, how are they going to be effective? Because the thing is, and this is the reality, is that people make up their mind in 7 seconds of meeting you. They have, like, that's how our minds work. 7 seconds is all it takes for us to make a whole bunch of decisions about somebody that we're not even aware of. We may not even, and I think most times we aren't even aware of it. So my passion is to help people say, okay, if that is just how it is, if that's how it works, and it's just how our brains work, let me help you to harness that. Let me help you to use that as your power. Because if you use it more consciously, then you have more control over how you're perceived. You won't be able to control everybody because we all have our filters and we all have our stuff. But you will be able to have greater control over that, and make it easier for yourself. Like, you don't have to take ages.
So maybe this is my thing. Maybe this is my style. Like, I'm comfortable in whatever my style, whatever it might be. It's basic, and I just add something to it, whatever. And not necessarily talking about clothing, just how I present, or
Yes.
like I just got highlights recently, so that was a change up for me. But with clothing, maybe this is my thing. Maybe I shouldn't change. Am I trying to force something that really isn't me? This is what I'm comfortable in. So I don't do things because that's what's supposed to be or what maybe people expect of me. I do what I'm comfortable in. Yeah. So maybe I shouldn't switch it up, because if this is what I'm comfortable, whatever, it's worked for me.
Yeah. Except you've just gone through body change,
right?
Change of job, change of, and I think that sometimes, and Debbie, let me just say to you that change doesn't always have to be big.
No, not at all.
Sometimes it's tweaks. It's simple. Right. Sometimes it's taking what you have and wearing them differently.
Right.
It's like, so I have an online course, and one of the first things that I get you to do is to go into your closet and look at what you have. Shop your closet first. Look at what you love to wear. Look at how that makes you feel. I talk a lot about bringing joy into your wardrobe, using your clothing for joy. Does it bring you joy? Do you feel good wearing it? Do you love wearing what you wear? If you love wearing what you wear, then continue to wear it. If you don't, then maybe it's time for a change. And maybe it's small things. It's like what Mindy was saying about, she's boho chic, but she wants to step it up a notch. So maybe stepping it up a notch simply means finding a different, like, denim brand.
Right.
That is going to work for her body shape. That's going to allow her to wear all the tops that she loves to wear. That will make her feel like she's stepping it up a notch. You know what I mean? It doesn't have to
that makes sense. It makes sense, because it's like, if you're, why change it if it, don't fix it if it ain't broke. But however, maybe it's a little,
Yeah. And so when I work with people, I always like to find that comfort zone, like, where are they? But then what are they wanting to achieve? And that's why I always ask, like, what do you want your look to say about you? And if your look doesn't say what it is, so I consult one-on-one as well. So what I would do is I would ask you to send photographs of the kind of things that you wear. And then I'll get you to send me a couple of words of what you want your look to say about you. And if I can see that the two are not matching, I'll say the two are not matching.
Yeah, right.
Let's make it match. And let's see how we can work with what you have to make it match. and if what you have isn't going to do it, let's see what you need to shop for, so that when you do go shopping, whether it's online or whether it's in a store, that you have focus, that you know what you're looking for, and that you don't waste your money and your time. Because the brain is an amazing thing. I've always noticed that when I take people shopping, I take them for a shopping lesson, like how to shop, because you need a small list, like one thing at a time. What am I looking for? I'm looking for blue tops. You go into a store and you're looking for blue tops, you're going to see blue tops. If you're shopping online, you're going to go in, you're going to go blue tops. You'll see all the blue tops. It's amazing how focused. When you're just looking online, it's overwhelming. When you go into a store, it's overwhelming because you see blue and pink and yellow and what, because you're not telling your brain what to do. You're not telling your brain what to focus on. So it's about refinement. It's about really looking at it and saying, hey, do I feel fabulous? If I feel fabulous, great, change nothing. If you don't, maybe it's an opportunity. And I think that, you know, COVID has had a lot of negative stuff, but COVID's also had a lot of good stuff.
Oh,
So,
definitely.
yeah.
Well, thank you.
So guys, what I'll do, I'll just, so let me just send you, if you do want more information, I will send you an email because I'll get the email addresses from Tina. This is my online course, which is really simple to follow. It is on 60% sale right now. So it's like $20. So if you want to do that, you're welcome to. On sale, it's $20. And then if you feel like you need more one-on-one consultation type of stuff, I consult online as well. And then that is the information. So, and feel free to reach out. I'll just put my information here. You can always just send me an email if you want to discuss anything or, yeah. Cool.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
So Tracy, I see the only solid color that you own in your picture online has sparkles in it, which really doesn't qualify it as a solid color. Is that right?
Exactly. It's not solid.
I do have
It's
identified
not.
Tracy's
It's-
personal style.
It's not gray. It's more crystals or diamonds or whatever you want to call it, right?
It's black with shimmer in it.
And
So it can't even be
shimmer.
straight black. Yeah,
Okay.
it's actually, in fact,
And I think
it's this.
Tracy's version of a blazer is her moto jacket, I believe.
Yeah.
Oh, I love
Is her
that.
what jacket?
I love it.
My moto jacket.
Moto? Like is a motorcycle?
Yeah,
I
that,
have my classic black blazer is leather.
Of course.
yeah, it's leather again, yeah.
I love how
fact,
you said your little black dress is leather.
Yeah, well, I have a little obsession. So I went to Italy and I went to Madrid and Barcelona. I know. So I have an I love. I'm actually not buying more leather now. I'm buying only vintage leather because I'm vegan. So, but there's plenty of vintage leather, so it's great. But I love leather, and I don't like anything plain. Too plain is just boring for me. Yeah.
That's funny.
But that's my style, and it's not about making you making you me. It's making you the best that you can be. You know. So I think for me, and I'm a designer, so I can make my own clothes, and that makes it much easier. But yeah, I'm just so passionate about helping people create a look that really speaks about who they are and suits them. Yeah.
Well, thanks for sharing today. That was really helpful.
Yeah,
You're
thank
welcome. You're welcome.
Thank
And
you.
it's so nice to have Jim here as a guy.
No, Jim, up to the next one. I think next week we're going to have Susie Levin on, who is an author of Getting to Forgiveness. She had a near-death experience, and she's got a lot of great stuff to share. She's an incredible woman. So you guys are on the email, so I'll send a note out to you guys, and then I'll put some info there for the next event. And I hope you guys can make it. This was so fun. I always enjoy learning a little bit more every time we do it. So
thank you.
I'll be there, Tina. That sounds great.
Awesome.
That's great,
Cool.
Tracy. Thank you.
Thank you, Tracy.
So much.
Thank you.
And Debbie,
Thank
good
you,
luck on
Tracy.
your new job.
Thank you.
Yes.
I'll be seeing you, a lot of you, I'm sure, Tina.
Thanks to
you
Corona.
all. Thank
Exactly.
you.
Good night, guys.
Bye.
Cheers. Bye.
Good night.